Okay. This week, we're going to talk a little bit about what's left for Apple to M around. And I actually have that written here in this. What's left for Emming around? Now, we have kind of broached this subject before. And previously, we've talked about the Mac Pro and the 27-inch iMac. But honestly, with the release of the Mac Studio, I think that took a lot of pressure off Apple to get out an M series Mac Pro, because honestly, the Mac Studio, especially with the M1 Ultras in it, is like an incredible machine.
Yeah.
And for most of the people that buy iMacs, 24 inches, that's probably about the right size. And if you need more screen real estate, you can certainly go and get just about any 27 or 32 inch monitor, and just connect it via USB-C or Thunderbolt or however you want to do it. Now, for the M1, it shocked me, Gaz. It literally did shock me earlier this year.
Yep.
When the iPad Pro and the iPad Air came out with M series processors.
Okay.
And the Air, of course, having the M1 and the Pro having the M2. So I get the feeling that at least as far as iPads go, that we're not that far behind from them dropping the A series processor and just putting M series in both the regular iPad and the iPad mini. Now, it's not going to be, they'll more than likely update the Air and the Pro first to, I think the Pro is already an M2, I believe. But I think they would update the Air to an M2 before they would put an M1 in the lower end regular iPad and iPad mini.
Agreed.
And at this point,
if they keep the Air.
If they keep the Air, because they have four iPad lines right now. You've got the regular iPad, you have the iPad mini, you have the iPad Air, and you have the iPad Pro. And yeah, I think either the Air or the regular can certainly be eliminated without it affecting their bottom line that much, because people are probably buying one or the other based on what their needs are for an iPad and how much they have to spend. What do you think?
I agree with you. I'm just kind of looking. I think that the iPad Air is the one to drop because they've just recently updated the standard iPad, haven't they?
Yeah.
And it's now gone to a 10th generation. And the thing with that is, mind you, that's still an A14 Bionic chip, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing with the Air is equally, they've still got to keep a reasonably priced iPad out there, haven't they? And I don't think the Air, from what I remember, was that reasonably priced. Now, I could be wrong. I'm just trying to.
It's less expensive than the Pro.
But it's more expensive than the standard one, and I think that's what I'm saying is they've got to keep a standard one out there to be able to keep that price down a little bit. Whereas the Air kind of falls. It's a bit more expensive, isn't it? So
yeah, if you're going to spend that much, may as well go to the Pro.
Because
are you on the iPad Air page?
I'm on the iPad Air page. Yeah.
What sizes are in the iPad Air?
What, in terms of storage?
Screen size. No, screen size.
Screen size. Where does it tell me screen size? Let's have a look. Go down. Oh, come on. It is 10.9 inch.
And that's
same as the new. Same as
size.
the new. Same as the new iPad, which seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? You've got 8.3 for the iPad Mini. You've got 10.2 for the the 9th generation iPad, which is the one with the bigger bezel on the sides. The iPad 10th generation, which is the newest one, which is still on the A14 chip. And then you've got the iPad Air, which is on the M1 chip. So whether they're just doing that so they can try and entice more money out of people, but eventually they've got to do that 10th generation one to the M version, I would say, and the smaller one, like you've put in the show notes. But I think they've got to keep them in there because they've got to have a cheaper option. But why would to your point, once that's got an M chip in it, why do you need the iPad Air? Because you just go to the Pro at 11 or 12.9 inch, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So you'd have basically 4 sizes of iPads. You got the 8.4 iPad mini, the 10.9 inch iPad.
Yeah.
And then I think it's 11.1 or 11.2, something like that.
Over here they just say 11 or 11, 12.9.
And 12.9 inch iPad Pro. So there's 4 different sizes with a variety of storage options.
Yes.
And different processors and different accessories, whatever it is that you want to do. And it's all right there. So yeah, I think you're right. And I hadn't even thought about that when I was putting this together, but what is the point of the iPad Air? Does it really even matter that much anymore?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's got different colors, and what's crazy is the new iPad has got the A14. I don't think whether we spoke about this before, but the iPad mini has got the A15 Bionic chip, whereas the new iPad has got the A14 Bionic chip. I presume they're trying to keep a differential there between that and the M1. I don't know. It just seems odd. I should probably not right now, obviously, but do find a comparison between like the A15 and A16 chips and the M1, and as far as core count and memory and all the rest of that, and see how they compare. Yep.
But getting off, and of course,
anyway, we're talking emming. We're talking emming.
We're emming around here.
Not iPad differentials.
The iPhone 14 Pro has the A16 Bionic chip. The regular iPhone, I think, is on the 14 or 15. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you
want me to go back?
No. Don't worry. It doesn't really matter that much. They're A series chips as compared to the M series. I don't think there's really any compelling reason why they shouldn't standardize across the board and just use M series chips across the entire line, including with the iPhones. Why not? It reduces the number of different fabs that you need to create these processors. And right now, fab space is at a premium. So if you can standardize...
I just wonder whether it's a matter of their production requirements at the moment and the way they've got production and storage of this. And there could well be still a price premium on the M1 chips until they get up to speed on the number that they're producing. So maybe that's the constraints they've got. I don't know.
Okay. But moving on to the M2.
But they should, ultimately they will go to M chips eventually.
Maybe.
Surely.
They could, because the M was a variant of the A, but it may be at the point now where the A is starting to become a variant of the M. So without knowing more about chip architecture, which neither one of us really know anything about, it's hard to say. As far as, sorry?
Tech is hard.
Yeah, it is hard. Tech is hard. I've got something that says that somewhere. As far as the M2 goes, the only thing we've got an M2 in currently is the iPad Pro and the 13-inch MacBook Pro.
Well, unless you want me to go looking, I would have thought that you'd put that in the notes, but you haven't. So
I did. Go looking. But basically, it's what it's not in, and this is more important. It's not in the MacBook Pro 14 and 16 inch, which Oh, it's in the Air as well, the MacBook Air. It's not in the Mac Studio. It's not in the 24-inch iMac, and it's not in the Mac Mini. All of those, I'm going to guess, will likely get updated to M2s over the course of the next year to a year and a half. So what could be in store for something like the so far mythical Mac Pro? If a Mac Studio has an M2 Ultra in it, and who knows, maybe because they've got that weird architecture thing where they're kind of slamming two M1 Pros together.
Yep.
And and that's the Ultra. Well, if they could, and this was actually something that was posed to me on Twitter some time ago. If they could do it with 2, why couldn't they do it with 4? Or why couldn't they do it with 8? As far as the common bus for all of these processors go. And I don't have an answer for that. For all I know, that they've got something like that set up in the lab. But that could be the only way that a non-Intel Mac Pro could operate without going to a completely different architecture that Apple hasn't even hinted at going forward into the future.
No, that isn't going to happen.
So if the Mac Pro ever comes out, it'll probably, instead of it being
ever comes out with a new updated version, is what you mean?
Yeah,
because it's out at the moment. You can buy a Mac Pro at the moment.
Yeah, but it's Intel.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the M series variant for the Mac Pro. It would be more like the Pro version of the Mac Studio, which is.
And I wonder whether they're selling very many Mac Pros at the moment, because
of the Studio or the Pro.
No, the Pro.
I can't imagine why anybody would buy one.
No, because they're all going to be waiting for the M series chips to come out, because they've almost killed themselves or shot themselves in the foot, because what they've done is they've produced such a fantastic chip that people will be going, wow, wait till they put that in the Mac Pro. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
So, everybody will be buying the Mac Mini Studios and the
or the Mac Studio and
the Mac Studios and the
beefed up
iMacs
Mac
as well.
Minis. I don't know if professionals would buy an iMac. I don't really see the point of it.
Possibly not. I mean, they tried to go pro with it at one stage, didn't they? But anyway, people.
Well, you had the
waiting, aren't they? They're going to wait because they're going to want it in that new machine. So I hope Apple aren't going, oh dear, Mac Pro sales have fallen off a cliff. No,
you think?
Let's finish it. Let's cut it out completely and just stick with the Mac Studio. Don't do that, Apple. Think what you've done. You've shot yourself in the foot. Get the M series in there as quickly as you possibly can.
With more processors.
However they want to configure it, they'll configure it in a way that it still costs people £25,000 to buy one
to get the full version of it. Yeah,
but
I want
they can do it.
18,000 gazillion terabytes of RAM. Just RAM, not storage. Just RAM. Yeah. I want this thing to do what I wanted to do before I even get a chance to think about it.
It may be that's what's giving them a bit of a headache at the moment. The amount of RAM that the M series chips can handle, and they're gonna they put it out, and absolutely. But if they can only bring out something which can't handle, the insane amounts of RAM which people would expect, not saying that they should have it because they may not need it, but people will expect a large amount of RAM capability on a Mac Pro. And if the chips can't handle it yet, maybe that's why they're delaying.
Well, right now with the Mac Studio, you can get up to 64 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, well, but to a professional in the Mac Pro, that's like, is that all?
Well, if you have
Guy, at the moment, you
Ultra,
can Guy, at the moment, you can get up to 768. In fact, no, I'm lying. You can get up to 1.5 terabytes of RAM in the Mac Pro, Guy. So if you say, yeah, but a Mac Studio can get 64 gigabyte, they'll go,
yeah, they're going to kind of look at me and go,
yeah,
stupid boy.
And maybe that's what's causing them a problem. And that's why they're doing it.
Maybe. But I think a lot of people have high expectations for whatever the Mac Pro is that is going to be. I keep going over to the refurb store, and looking at the Mac Studios that they occasionally get in there, and it's like,
you're such a sucker.
I am.
You do not need it. You don't need it.
Have a perfectly wonderful Mac Mini,
correct,
with 32 gigs of RAM and however much a terabyte of storage in it, and that does everything that you need to do right now.
The only thing it'll fall over slightly on is if you put hundreds of thousands of lines into a numbers spreadsheet. That's the only thing it'll fall over. So how often are you doing that?
Oh, every day.
Well, then you need the studio, mate. And even then it might still fail.
Yeah. It'll be like, those aren't real numbers. Those are imaginary numbers.
No. It'll say, that's numbers and that's Excel type work. We don't like doing that.
We like videos. What was the name of the actor? Justin, whatever his name was.
Oh, yeah.
When they used to have the Mac versus PC commercials. God, I missed those ads. Those were such great ads. Anyway, that's pretty much all we have for this part. If you have a Mac Studio, get a hold of us. Give it to me. Get a hold of us in one way or another. Tell us what you're using it for, and if you've run into any bottlenecks for whatever it is that you do use it for. I imagine most people that have them are using them for audio or video or things along those lines.
I would expect so.
So yeah, I think that's what we got going on here, guys.
Yeah.
Are you nodding your head too?
I might just be.